here's Brody Brazil.
Oakland A's ace Mike Fiers is currently facing some mainstream and social media criticism because of his attributed quotes in that bombshell news story by The Athletic, which led to MLB's electronic sign stealing investigation of the Astros, which led to punishments in Houston, which led to a general manager and 3 field managers across baseball losing their jobs. It also led to baseball being forever changed and forever skeptical towards any team attempting to steal signs electronically moving forward. Now, the only acceptable hot take on Mike Fiers should go something like this. Thank you for putting your own name out there on the line to help baseball eliminate one of its most embarrassing scandals in history. End of story. I mean, this goes up there seriously with the 1919 Chicago White Sox throwing a World Series on purpose. It also goes up there with all that talk of steroids back in the 1990s that we still can't live down to this day here in 2020. We know about banging on trash cans to alert Astros hitters of what pitch was coming, but did it even go deeper than that, to players wearing remote buzzing-type devices? This is a huge deal. A World Series could have been impacted. Playoff series could have been impacted. The American League West across several different seasons could have been impacted. And Fiers went out there on a limb and put his name on it. I mean, what if he was wrong? How does one live all of that down? We'll never know the true impact of how many wins Houston gained by cheating, but what we do know is this: it must have been working to a certain degree. Otherwise, why would they continue over the span of multiple seasons? It really does feel like the only thing stopping them from cheating was getting caught. No question about it. So how could anyone be critical of Fiers, the former Astro, by exposing his old team's wrong ways? Some proclaim that he broke an unwritten code. Okay, so now we're saying that cheating is actually part of baseball? You're saying it's more ethical to leave millions of fans and billions of dollars that follow baseball in the dark on this, and just let 50 of your old teammates keep on cheating the system and each other? Also, are we trying to promote a culture here where players are actually fearful of bringing issues like this up in the future? That's pathetic. Others proclaim that he spoke at a wrong time. For example, why did Fiers not say anything when he was apparently benefiting from all this back in 2017 with Houston? Well, did you know back then he actually lost his spot in the rotation, and he was also left off the playoff roster entirely? Sure, the Astros got their World Series rings in 2017, but Mike Fiers didn't even get to put on the jersey in the playoffs. How exactly would that have looked back then, in that moment? I think a lot worse than it does just 2 seasons removed here in the present. Could it be that over time he actually realized how serious this was and how appropriate it would be to say something? As for Houston and their 2020 season, in the words of anchorman Ron Burgundy, maybe you ought to lay low for a while. And I can't even imagine the reception that Astros fans will give Mike Fiers when the A's roll into town, but I am also curious to see the reaction that Astros players get at ballparks across the country. There's no way that that team is now seen in the same light. But at the same time, when Mike Fiers travels around the MLB circuit outside of Houston, people ought to be shaking his hand and saying thank you.